Okay, so let's discuss the different advisors that you will be working with in your time here at SF State. So allow me to state the obvious, okay? But you will see your major advisor for major requirements, and you will see a non-major advisor for non-major or otherwise known as general or university requirements. And if you're considering a double major, if you're adding another major or another minor, then you'll have to work with advisors in those departments also. So it's not necessarily a one-stop shop. You see different advisors for different purposes. And those are the purposes right there. So let me discuss a little bit about major advisors who you'll be working with, folks like myself. We're trained in the requirements of the major. Therefore, we can provide you accurate advice on the major. We can also troubleshoot some issues that may come up with your major, right? And specifically, we can talk with you about core requirements and elective requirements, which I'll go over in this presentation with y'all. And when it comes to working with a major advisor, you can work with any major advisor, any CJ Criminal Justice Studies major during our office hours. You can go to this web link and you can just look up, for example, CJ SFSU program advising on your web browser. And you'll see this hyperlink, cj.sfsu.edu/program advising. And you'd scroll and you'd see a section that says advisor advising office hours. And below that would be a list of faculty members that you'll be able to work with. In the future, Dr. De La Tierra will be added to this list, as well as Dr. Brown. So you'll have more people to work with. And we all have our distinct drop-in hours. You can work with any advisor any day of the week, any semester. So if you work with Dr. George Barganier on a Monday morning, that same week you can also work with Dr. Camacho on a Thursday afternoon, right? And if things, basically work with any advisor that works best for your schedule. If you work with one advisor, you don't have to work with them all the time. Work with the person who works best for your schedule. And if your schedule changes, then see a different advisor as that schedule changes. So yeah, you're free to work with one or multiple advisors in your time at SF State. Of course, with COVID-19, these drop-in hours are via Zoom. In the future, when we resume in-class, in-person instruction, office hours will also include, our room numbers, so you can come visit our offices during that time. Now, let me share some words about non-major advisors. So general or university advisors, they're trained in general university requirements. Therefore, they can provide you accurate advice on these matters, as well as help troubleshoot some things. I get questions from students all the time, and there's just some questions I'm not able to answer for them, unfortunately, because I haven't been trained in these requirements. So, for example, they'll be able to work with you about specific questions about upper division GEs, which are listed at UDB, UDC, UDD, SF State Studies, written English, U.S. History and Government, as well as your unit requirements. So they'll be able to give you much better answers about these matters than I could. Some of my colleagues have been here a little bit longer, so they can probably answer things well. But officially, you go see these things. You'll see a general advisor about these matters. Now, where do you go? I recommend going to the CHSS Student Resource Center. And there goes a hyperlink right there. CHSS is the College of Health and Social Sciences, where the Criminal Justice Studies Department is housed in. And each college has its own student resource center that works with majors in that college. So they have a smaller population of students they work with. That being said, you are also free to work with the university-wide undergraduate advising center. They tend to serve a larger number of students. So it might be a little bit harder to come by an appointment. Nonetheless, you have these two options to work with. Okay, so those are my words about the different sets of advisors. Now stay tuned. We're going to get into what you came for, which is the Criminal Justice Studies major requirements.